So today will be a small tutorial about contact forms, and specifically we will be looking how we can pre-fill user name and email address if we are using WordPress website and we have kind of user registration enabled, and people can create accounts, then our system actually can recognize who is the user, and instead of always offering them plain forms where they need to again provide their name and email address, we can automate this step and improve our user experience on a website simply because we can recognize them. So how to do that, I will show you today a small trick. So I will be using two different contact form plugins. So on the left side you can see we have contact form 7, and on the right side I will be using Ninja Forms. Why I'm using those two plugins? They are both free of use, they are probably one of the most common ones, and there are a little bit different approach in both of them, so that is why I'll just show you both of them. So now let's take a look on contact form 7. So you can see that where we have our name field, I have already pre-filled automatically that with first name and last name here, and the email address as well is automatically pre-filled. On a contact form in Ninja Forms as well, we're happening exactly the same. Instead of kind of full name, I have only first name. So again, we can control that as well. I will show you that in a second. And the email address as well, you can see that it's automatically already pre-filled. And then the rest of the things which I left is pretty much, type in the message and send it over, which will be emailed to me or any email address you will be providing in that specific form. So now let's take a look on contact form 7 settings. So my settings are looking something like this. So what does this trick is this part of the code here. So default, if the actual person on the website is user, then we will be displaying user display name. So this shortcut here, which is user display name, that's the one which we can control now what actually we are pulling out, because for the email field you can see we have default user email, and that means that we are pulling user email out. So this user display name, we could as well use shortcode, which would be user first name. We can use as well user first name and user last name if we want to separate that out. Or in this case, I'm just using display name, which displays my first name and last name, or it could be anything else if your user has customized that. And then the bit after that, we have placeholder, which is name here, and for the email placeholder and email. Why I'm putting placeholder here? Because in theory, we can remove this your name label, which if I will go back to the forms, you can see your name. So this label here, in theory, we can remove them and make our forms even more compact. So it's nicer, for users to fill them in. And that placeholder we can pretty much use for any field we are using, including those text fields here. And that is why that way you can create your forms even more compact, okay? Now let's go and take a look on the Ninja Form settings. So Ninja Form settings will look something like this. When I'm opening on a specific field, this case name, we have display tab here, which I'm opening, and then we have default values. And there you can see, so to display my user first name, the code will look like this. So you can see it's a little bit different from what we had here in the contact form 7. But that will do the trick. So again, instead of using first, I could use display name, I could use last name, whatever it's gonna be, and then the placeholder itself goes here in this field. Again, we can leave it empty if we are using label already, but if you want to remove label and hide it, we can use, this placeholder, which will be displayed for those people where the system cannot automatically pull in their first name or display name, whatever it's gonna be, okay? And then the email field will look like this. So WordPress user email, again, same user email shortcode, just a little bit different beginning, and the placeholder, please type your email, okay? So that's there. That's how the form will be looking when I'm logged in and the system can recognize who I am. And if you're not gonna be logged in into the website, or you do not have account on the website, then the forms will look like this, where you can see now our placeholder name and placeholder email. So that is why I said you can type in your name as a placeholder already, and then I just, start typing my first name, for example, you see, like this. And same as well in a Ninja form, you can see where we have our placeholders. So please type your name, please type your email. You see, so again, those name and email I could actually remove and make my form much nicer. So that's all, that's the trick, and that's how you can make user experience better on your website. There is something more which I will show you in the next video, and we will take those forms either further, and I will show you what more and how even more we can improve user experience when it's coming to forms on the websites. Stay tuned for that, consider to subscribe, and I will see you on the next one. Ciao.